welcome to the trip. I am your trip conductor, DWTT, or some
Sorry,
of
the
you
what?
call me the trip conductor. I'll take you guys on a ride. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I gave
I
myself.
just
I
wanted
gave
to.
my,
I just want to make sure I heard what I heard. That's all.
yeah. That's me. Oh, well, I see Tony in the back. He finally showed up, but he's gonna have to wait until everybody's introduced, and then we'll let him in. He was the first one in, and then as soon as I came in, the man went dark. So
He just
guess
wants
what?
to call himself the conductor, and then every other word is just forgotten, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Also,
So, Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful, sir. How are you?
Great. Great. Well, I shouldn't say
Tony, how
great.
are
You
you?
know, I'm great because we're chatting, right? We're chatting, so I'm great.
Hey, it's my favourite thing to do.
It's Spencer. How are you doing?
Been better, 3 games. Hasn't been really good as far as life goes. I'm doing excellent. Can't complain. 6 feet above the ground. Walking around,
6 feet
working.
above the ground as opposed to 6 feet under the ground. That's pretty
See,
pretty good. How do you do that?
I'm a cliche machine, Gary. This is what I do. I am the master waffler. I am part of the problem apparently, but that's
Yes,
okay. That's with me the
You
first
are?
time.
you are.
It's
He's part
not.
of the problem.
It's literally not the first time I've been called a problem in my life. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
probably part for the course. But I'm doing excellent. Glad to hang out with Gary, Tom, Lonzo, Tony, and the chat room. Looking forward to getting into this today.
Cool. And Lonzo, what's up?
Hello. Yeah, it's been a rough go lately. Seems like Arsenal and the Eagles both have losing streaks going in, and it's been a horrible go. Hopefully, both teams will be corrected by next Saturday if the Eagles beat the Buccaneers. So yeah, I'm still optimistic. But some changes need to be made ASAP. So this is what
I'm
happened.
hoping that your happiness or your sadness with the Eagles is not correlated with the sadness that we have for Arsenal.
Oh, it's about the same, Gary.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not. 'Cause I
That's
can't.
triggering me on my OCD.
Yeah,
God damn it, Greenwood. Why?
you
Why'd
had
you
to
have to
break it
break
up.
the streak? Oh my god! It's in my it's
That's
falling down my
great.
spine.
I was wondering if we would get all the letters out before it got interrupted, but you know what? You bring Sam in, and we'll say hello to everybody in the chat real quick. But
Wasn't
first,
even
before we
close,
go,
by the way.
we've got last but not least, Tony
I was first,
Turner.
Gary. I was
No, you're
first.
last. You're last. That's it.
Nah.
You're last.
Nah,
You got
nah,
on last. That's kind of this thing works.
nah.
Come on, I got a phone call from the insurance company wanting to know all the medication I take. So I did good
Oh,
getting all that done
It
right
only
now.
wait
took
for
you
the
1
short
minute to. It
company.
only took you 1 minute to relay that. Shouldn't you be sitting there for 2 hours?
She already had it all down what I take. She just
Oh,
reviewing, making sure I was still
you need a
taking it or not.
spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet to go through all the medicine he's on.
God damn
It's
I,
it.
wa-
color
I want
coded
to.
and everything.
I want to know how Spencer learned how to levitate 6 feet.
I don't know. You know what? He's he's from, I don't know. Where are you from again? Virginia?
Hold
Where
on,
you
let's
at?
do the math here. The
Just do the
floor
math there.
from my toes to my head is about 6 feet.
You said you are 6 feet above the ground. You didn't said my head is 6 feet above the
Yeah,
ground.
but I'm
Make up your
alive,
mind.
well, and kicking. It's kind of like it's either 6 feet
No,
under or 6 feet
no,
above.
you missed.
You're above ground.
Nah, that is not how this thing works. But we'll say hello to everybody in the chat before we continue on. BX from the Boogie Down.
YouTube
Carolina
is so going to ban
is in
one
the
of them
house.
for
Welcome.
spamming.
You what?
YouTube's going to ban one of them for spamming. Pretty sure of it.
Oh, you think they spam it because they put in letters?
No, it will think they're spamming
Oh man,
at
hope
one
not.
of them. It'll
All
pick
right.
one of them at
Yeah,
random.
Ryan is in the house. Welcome. Yeah, Tom's always here, man. Tom is a closet
I'm the
Arsenal fan.
caretaker. I'm
That
caretaker,
too.
damn it.
That too. That's true. Sam has a forecast for everyone, a 90% chance of slags. So there you go.
Well, if you do the leg count between us, 90% of us, there's 90% legs.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
It's just maths.
Damn.
Ouch.
Too far?
Wow.
Is
Yes, that's just like mean.
Is that too far? Or is it fact?
I mean, considering what I saw earlier today, it's not too far. We're good. Go carry on.
It's mean.
Right.
I'm not
I'm
even
not.
putting up that guy
Fucking hell,
Bronco in
what's that?
VA. He put
Tony,
on some letters I don't
have
care.
you got a
Hey,
new
he's
weapon?
the Sam guy. I should block you guys.
I
block
got a
you.
new weapon.
Yeah, Ryan can't spell. What is he? I don't know. I'm not. You guys. I'm not putting them up. Sorry.
Tony defended me in the chat earlier, and I'm suspicious. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of getting in there first.
Yeah, and guess who? Look who shows up. I'm gonna have to put. If he puts anything in there that doesn't have letters, I might put his name up. But nope. Chris Nix is Jonah's show. I'm not putting letters up. Sorry, not doing it.
Chris
doing
Nix
it.
and Stefan support half the league between them.
Yeah, Chris Nix is in the house. He's happy. He's happy. He's really happy now. He's probably laughing. And once again, we are making his day. Yeah, Tom went there. He did. Tom goes there, and he lives there, and he sleeps there. And when he's not
It's all right.
there,
Tony said worse to me.
he's next
It's all right.
door.
It's all right. And he's sitting there right now going, I have not said worse to you.
So let's get into it. Yeah. I might not be finishing up this show. I do have to step out for a bit. I don't know if I'll be back
Right.
before the show's out. So
Oh, that's terrible.
Mr. Tom will have the keys, and hopefully you guys will not run off the road. Which I doubt that the fact it's gonna happen.
Tom's
Just say
drove
that.
it like he stole it. That's how Tom operates.
Yeah, there you go. Look at him smiling and giggling. He can't even click.
Exactly what will happen. Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. All right, should we start with the good or the bad? Let's start with the good because that's only going to take about a minute.
I've got something to start with.
All right, there you go. Damn, that's just cold. That's mean. All right, cool. Let's start with the good then. Gary being reprimanded again. What did I do this time? What did I do? So Mr. Tom's had a good. I think he's seen the positive side of what? 2 back-to-back 3-0 wins. Is that my understanding or something like that?
6 goals, none conceded. What a week.
All right. You know what we're gonna do? Because it's
Sam right now typing. You beat a pub team. Fuck
All
it.
right.
I don't care. Send me the local butchers. We'll beat them next week. Send me a team of librarians. We'll take them down. I don't give a shit. As long as we win. Because
We got
winning
one
is
to
what
give you.
matters.
Do you pay us $30 million?
Sorry, what?
What is he talking about now? Why are you interrupting the man's spot? I put him in the big box, and now you're interrupting him. Let him speak.
This makes sense why we couldn't do the slides, Gary. I know why you. I know.
I
why.
told you. Yeah,
You're right.
Spencer's like, let's do some slides. I'm like, you know what? If you put a slide up, and it's about football, Tony will somehow figure out how it's wrong, even though the slide will show you exactly what it is.
My favourite part of it was how Spencer said there's 14 of them. And I thought, wait, what?
Then I said, can you reduce it down? He's like 8. I'm like, dude, I'm thinking like 2.
This is my favourite.
I got all the knowledge up here, though. It's all good.
We'll
get into that as well.
I was like, the fuck there are? No. No. To be honest, I'll out of politeness to Spencer, I would have politely tolerated it for at least 4 slides before I started giving out.
I didn't want to get to that point. I was like, you know what? It's gonna be hard to do it. Even though I think we could do a whole show on it. So
I will still turn up for his stream where he goes through them.
Yeah. And he's gonna bring the Broncos into it though, so that's
No, I'll separate the two.
You can do that?
Oh,
are you
absolutely.
sure?
Yeah.
All right.
We just secured our 7th straight losing season. Come on, baby.
See, I told you couldn't do it. It took you like 5 seconds, and you couldn't hold yourself, control it. Anyways, Mr. Tom, tell to the people. Tell them why you're happy.
Oh my God! Did you see fucking Lionel Bamford? Fucking hell! The state of that goal. Oh my God! That goal. Oh my fucking hell! That goal was just absolute sauce. It was filth. It was filth. From the moment it left his boot, he only had one destination. Probably. And don't care. Don't care.
Who
Don't
do you
care.
play at home? Do you have a home? Did you all set
Oh,
up?
we got Plymouth at home in the next game, and we beat Plymouth at home in the league. We won 2-1. So
If you lose to them, I'm sorry, dude.
if we lose to them, you know what I'll do? I'll just
Yep.
sit here and go, all right, well, we'll get the league. We'll on to the next one. Because that's just football, innit? I can't personally fucking sit there and go, oh, I'm going to get fucking revenge on Plymouth. How fucking dare they try and beat us in the fucking Plymouth.
Fargo
In the
out.
fucking league.
Oh,
Exactly,
yeah, brother.
exactly. Like, just, it's a game of football, all right? We'll win it. I'm going to be happy we won it. And we lose it. That's it. I'm just going to sit there and be
CR7,
like,
there you go.
we lost.
Patrick CR7 Bamford.
I mean, it was amazing, though.
You know, I didn't know it was him because of the hairstyle or whatever he got going on there.
Well,
What's that all
directly
about?
under the tweet that Leeds sent out of the goal, of him celebrating the goal, the first comment is someone just calling him Slim. Because
Slim.
Slim Shady. Yeah.
He looks like a cheap 90s rapper.
Yeah,
does.
With a
He
real
does.
Slim Shady.
But you should actually look at the goalkeeper, because he looks even more like a 90s rapper, because he's also got his hair bleached. It's incredible. Incredible. We're getting a team of 90s rappers together,
Wow.
which is still a bit different to in the year 2021, where we had 5 players with a man bum.
That's interesting. That's weird.
It's something, yeah. But yeah, so I was very happy. A nice professional performance, I believe, on Saturday on the road trip. On Saturdays at 3:00 in the UK, I believe I did say I would be thrilled with no injuries and a comfortable 2-0 win, where there was no stress. And I got a comfortable 3-0 win, no injuries. Fucking fantastic. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Cool. And that was your Leeds moment of the show, and we'll get
For
into
now.
it for now. I'll bring some more back, but yeah, I just saw this and I thought, Sam is going after everyone. He's waiting for Lonzo, and his soup. The soup was brought to you by Lonzo. He's going after you, man. He's
Chef
going after you.
Boyardee.
Yes.
Ravioli, innit?
Oh boy. All right. So here we go. This is how this thing's gonna go, I guess, huh? So hello, welcome to the show, AFC. Always got a question for Mr. Arsenal Podcast. I don't know if you're even still here. Yeah.
Probably asleep.
Yeah, I think Brian passed out by this time,
Bless
right?
him.
He's probably taking care of all of his animals before he
There you
goes to
go.
bed.
So we'll get it. All right. So say hello, everybody, and then we'll get started on the Arsenal. Taib, welcome to the show. Did I say hello to everybody? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, because
Yeah,
they
you
were
did.
think I did.
spamming. It was
I did.
hard to tell who was in there.
Yeah, there's so many letters. So yeah, Taib,
Yeah.
welcome to the show. Sam, I know, and that's that Bronco guy was in the house as well. So Ryan was in, but I don't know if he's still around. He's probably gone
Read
now.
that Greenwood's comment. He caught me
So
out.
let's get into it.
He caught me
Woo.
Do we have to, Gary?
out. I did.
Do we have to? Yeah, we have to. We'll get into it. Someone keeps touching the screen here.
I was touching your bits.
Yes. So let's get into it here. Arsenal. Saw the lineup. I said, all right, well, this is. I was okay with the lineup if the game plan and the whatever the instructions were made sense, and if Arsenal worked on their shooting going into the game, because that seems to be a problem. It's been a problem for me all year. Nope.
And
No,
last
no,
year,
really.
Gary.
Well, I'm just going with this year for now. Hey, Tony, can we turn the history meter to just 2003 August to now? All right, let's just do that, Tony. Just we'll go with right. All right, let's do that. Let's stick with this. Let's stick with this season. So
Yeah, but you weren't being factual, Gary. You were worried about it.
I'm only concerned right now about this season. And this season,
Anyway, go ahead, Gary.
we haven't been clinical. So I've been concerned about that, and I thought we were gonna get over it. We're gonna work on our shooting all day, and obviously we did not, because we looked just the same. too many touches in the box. I think if Liam hasn't hurt himself, he didn't have hurt himself before the game. He definitely hurt himself by the time the game was over.
I was really
Because
worried about him,
I
Gary.
did a watch along with him, and he was in pain just watching that, and we all were just watching that. So, yeah, it was a tough one. I don't know. I think Arteta's in a bad spot. I don't think he has answers. I think we have the talent to score. I think these guys are thinking too much. So I think that's what we're getting in trouble. They're just thinking a lot. They're not shooting. But that's how I see it. And I thought it was over when I knew when they brought in their two youngsters. I said, oh, they've given up. Now's our time to, like, if you see two youngsters come on and you're a team fighting for something, you probably should double down on your effort and maybe try to get that goal. Nope, it turned the opposite way around. They looked like the team actually who didn't bring on the youngsters, and they just finished us off. It was painful to watch. And I don't know what Arteta said afterwards, but he should be disappointed and we should be really disappointed in what's going on. So that's my initial thoughts on the game. I can't even get mad because I was just watching. It's like slow death, just waiting for it to happen. You know it's going to happen, and it did. So I'll let Spencer. We'll go through the chat real quick, and I'll let Spencer have his say. So where do we go here? Oh, we got a joke here. We got a joke here. This might cheer me up. 3 old ladies are sitting on a park bench. A man in a trench coat comes and flashes
Can
them.
I read it out? Because you have all the
Okay.
enthusiasm of a funeral.
All right, you do it.
Right. 3 old women are sitting on a park bench. A man in a trench coat comes over and flashes them. The first woman has a stroke. The second woman has a stroke. But the third woman, well, she couldn't quite reach.
That's just really just nasty. Right, speak English, AFC always. Try again. Used that one already yesterday, Taib. Oh, you guys you can't reuse the same joke on back-to-back days, Taib. Come on,
I never
dude.
saw it, so it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to bring some new material. It sounds like, All right, here's another one.
Classics never go out of stock.
Here's another one.
2 deer walk out of a gay bar. One says to the other, I can't believe I blew $50 in there.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is, but I'm going to keep moving on. Considering we are apparently the problem, Arsenal always love watching our content. There you go.
You should.
And,
It's good.
Yeah. Ryan, trust the process. There you go. So
Process,
it's
baby.
gonna be that kind of show. Ryan sleeps with Arteta boxes every night. There you go. He does. Probably does. Yeah.
It's not a crime. It's not a crime.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So here we go. So let's do this. So Spencer, talk to me. Tell me.
I mean, so this is 3 games now, 1 goal in 3 games, 18 shots in the most recent one. We can go back to the Ramsdale pinged the perfect ball to Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson decides to go around the keeper instead of flicking him, flipping it over his head. We had a really good shot in the 15th minute where Saka forced a turnover. Havertz drove the ball up to the byline, across the pitch, across the face of the goal. Nelson was too slow to get to it. Probably the wrong person to pass to. Saka was right there. Probably could have flicked it back to him. But Odegaard hits the post, right? And then Havertz misses the header, I think, right before halftime. And then Ben White's shot. Like, all these things, like, they're making opportunities. It's not going in. I don't know what the answer is. They need to figure it out because, we relied, 15 goals on Odegaard last year, Saka and Martinelli, and we're not getting that same production this year. Is it a touch too slow? Yes. I will say that I did notice that the inverted left back was not utilized as much on Sunday. Kivior was played a little more of a width. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't good enough. Liverpool were more clinical with their chances, and they do have some killers out there in the front line. Diaz is an excellent player. Nunez has a nice top knot, but that's about it. I mean, I think the problem, and I'm, Gary mentioned the subs. bringing Martinelli on for Nelson, that was okay. But even then, Nelson dribbles. Martinelli dribbles the ball too much. Like instead of he just dribbles around and then he gets to the 6-yard line box and he doesn't take shots from deep. And it's just these players make just weird decisions out on the pitch. I mean, Saka hasn't developed both feet yet. He always wants to do shit with his left foot, right? So I don't know. I mean, people are going to sit there and say manager out, but is the manager going to make the guys put their chances away? I mean, I don't know. Like eventually these guys have to take accountability and put the ball in the back of the net. They're more than capable of doing it. We saw them put 88 goals through last year. I don't know. So, needless to say, they get a 13-day break. They get to get a undeserved warm weather training break. They should stay here and have to suffer through and keep pushing on forward. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It was very disappointing. The FA Cup means a lot. It means a lot to the fan base. It means a lot to England. It was infuriating to go out like that, but I don't know, man. It's just, Liverpool are a good team. Let's not kid ourselves here. They've been good all year. They've only been beat once, and VAR beat them in that game too. So, but that's all I got on that, Gary.
Yep. You bring up that one play with Kirior. If you're a striker and you're in that situation, you have the goalkeeper in front of you. I don't know why he didn't just take the shot.
Talking about Nelson?
No, it was whoever. No, it was Kirior. Wasn't it Havertz that had that opportunity to score? To take that shot first time. He could have shot at the goalkeeper's legs if he wanted to. But yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, there were 6 shots from Havertz on Sunday.
Yeah.
3 from Nelson.
That's the one I thought he would do. But yeah, it's Ryan gave us a little bit too much information. Ryan, keep that to yourself. Nobody needs to know how you get down at night. But I don't think any of us are happy with the way things are going, especially with Arteta, the man. So yeah. So Lonzo, talk to me.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw the game a little bit while ago. I was at work, but I got around to watching the last 10 minutes of the game. And it seems like every time, it seems like to me, the passes aren't crisp enough to where the guys who are in the midfield or up front can get the ball in attack. Reece Nelson missed an opportunity there in the beginning of the match where Ramsdale got a good pass to him, and he just messed around and over dribbled and wound up trying to shoot from the sidelines or out of bounds. And Odegaard misses the goalpost, and there's not enough finishing there. I think with Saka, he tries to do too much and creates little chances for himself. And try to play Jorginho in there as well, and he hasn't played much. So, everything could have gone wrong. This team did. Own goal, scored by QBR, and it's not all his fault. But so, I mean, there needs to be better defending to clear the ball away. And like Spencer has said, we depended too much on Odegaard and our wings to score goals, and right now there haven't been that many goals being scored, and that's discouraging as a fan because you're missing that magic from last year. And defending was pretty good up until last. Liverpool looked better in the second half. They were more controlling of their possession, and there was no time before they scored eventually, and we liked that. And I also mentioned Martinelli's corner kicks were bad. And, whenever you have a player that's not really scoring goals or at least playmaking, and even his corner kicks are way off. But there's no plan there. There's no one that could even do that right. So as a fan, you're discouraged because it seems like they're not motivated. They're not in the game. And like Spencer said, how much of those opportunities to score goals is on Arteta, and like I said before, it's what happens whenever you rebuild a whole midfield basically, and you put in Rice and Havertz. I know Havertz was starting up front today, but how much is that trying to rush things and having Jorginho there as well? Jorginho's not fast enough to be a pivot right now. So all those accumulations equals a loss for me. The second goal kind of was indicative of how Arsenal have been playing lately. They don't know how they lost. It seemed like they gave up really in the second half. Not giving up, but it seems like they couldn't defend. So hopefully Arteta can fix this problem quickly, and they start a new streak of winning games after the break they have.
Cool. That's you. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Sorry, you just stop talking. I don't know. You kind of left me hanging there.
Sorry,
But all
yeah.
right.
I
All
mean,
right.
there's really a lot to digest, really, because there's a lot. I think disconnect with Arteta and the squad. Lack of everything. It seems like not just goals, but there's no heart. There's no motivation. I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about sometimes because you don't know what the issue is really. Sorry, Tony, but yeah, I'm done. Just overwhelming to talk about sometimes.
Cool. Yeah, no, you guys are talking about some stuff, and the Liverpool team wasn't set up to. I think essentially they didn't have a strong squad. I mean, you're missing Salah, you're missing Endo, you're missing, and then late they're missing Van Dijk. They only got one of their best players on the pitch at that time besides Trent. But I'm just talking about really right through the middle there, and we should, those, if you can beat a Liverpool team when you're pretty much just, the healthier of the two teams with most of your starters in, you got something's wrong there, and that's for me, that's all on Arteta, and I think we had more than enough chances to score, so I don't think anything else could be said about that. We did have the chances. We'll let Tony have his say. See what Tony has to say.
Nice to see Alonso was more critical than his good buddy Kieran Gibbs after the game.
That's what you're going to go after. Talk to us about the
I wasn't
Arsenal
going
game.
after Alonso. I was going after Kieran Gibbs like I was yesterday. What could I find one thing critical to say about Arsenal? It's all part of a process. But anyway, back to the game.
You've not scored in like 56 shots. How's there nothing to criticise?
I don't know. He said we're better off 4 or 5 years later than we were 4 or 5 years ago. So,
well, yeah, that's true because you were really bad 5 years ago.
yeah, but that's the point where we started going out of the Champions League. But it's
not
not
trying to dig you out for that. I'm just saying in general. Yeah, he's right, but still, sorry, go on.
Am I allowed to continue now, Tom?
Allowed.
Go through it fast. Again, lots of shots, no goals. Again, play Liverpool's kids, get beat again. Third year running, earliest exit out of both domestic cups. Third year in a row. Not good. Like Jerry said, you play a weakened Liverpool team, one that has injuries and stuff. They throw their kids in there, and it just don't seem like anybody cares. I see Gabriel getting mad, and that's about the only one that you see really throwing a fit. So is it Arteta's lost the players? Are they confused about what he wants? Or they just don't want to do what he's telling them to do? So we had Lacazette before telling them they weren't following what Arteta wanted. So I wonder if they're following his directions or not. Anyway, we're still one win out of the last 7. That's not good at all. And fourth, could be in fifth soon. Really, our best shot, like I kind of thought it would be this year, is the Champions League. So hopefully we can get past the round of 16 and move forward. Other than that, things aren't very good. And we need a striker. Actually, 2 strikers, but
Yeah.
we'll be lucky to get one.
Yeah. I guess I'm the weirdo that thinks it's not only the striker's not going to make a difference if everybody around him isn't actually playing good football. That's me. So we're going to say for those who are in a state.
Yeah, but Gary, you
It's
get everybody saying about the chances created and this and that. That hasn't really went down much. It's just still not being clinical.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. So like I said, I don't know. A striker will help in certain situations, but I think we're getting more than enough chances. And if it was a matter of it's just the striker position that we're missing, then it'd be one thing. But we're getting more than enough people opportunities to shoot. I mean, I think they showed the stats of how many shots we had in the box, and everybody was getting a try. So I think it's either something mental or something that's set up that just has these guys not thinking about scoring. For me, I think it's a mental thing. Bargav, welcome to the show. So that's kind of my thing. If you watch them when they play, the last thing they want to do is actually score. I mean, I watched the game today. Manchester United, and Garnacho gets a little bit of space and ball's gone. It's like, and doesn't matter where he is, he's just outside the box and he's taking a shot. That doesn't happen. Like Erdegaard doesn't take shots from outside the box for some reason. Like he's not allowed. So I kind of feel like there's a little bit of a mentality thing, and that's on the coach for me. Players not finishing. He's got to have an answer for that. He can't go like we've been like this all season, right? Been like this all season for me. So I think that's an issue there. So I don't know what you guys think about the scoring, but I think what's the answer to us being clinical? We'll start with Mr. Tom. And did you get a chance to see the game? I don't know if you if they allow you to see it or not.
I may have watched some footage of it on my Betamax.
On
Your Betamax.
Your Betamax. You have a Betamax that shows college.
Got Betamax.
It shows.
I had the
Arsenal?
footage. I had the footage converted to Betamax. Right?
Damn. All right, that's cool.
Porn drives the technology winner. Always remember that. Anyway, so people know what I'm talking about. Basically,
could you even
there's
watch
not
the
really-
full game on Betamax?
It's not even your time. Let the man speak.
Tony, am I allowed to speak?
Somebody overtalked me, but I can't remember who that was.
That's someone's now like doing the Uno reverse card, I believe it's called. Anyway, I've never played Uno in my life. I've already actually forgot the question I was initially asked. Trip conductor, can you help me out, please?
So we're talking about no, shut it. No. The question was about our being clinical, and what's the answer for that? Because we're seeing it week in, week out with this team.
To what degree would Okay, it's kind of 2 questions.
77 touches. What is it? 30 shots, 0 goals. That kind of not being clinical.
To what degree do you think that Saka needs a rest to get the best out of him? Is he getting in danger of getting burnt out even at this stage?
He was every season we go through this. He just has to fight through. Yeah. And the only time he seems to get a break is if he's injured. And even then he comes right back.
But it's still on him and them, the players around him. There's only so much preparation the manager can do to the level with which then it becomes their responsibility to carry out his instructions. And call me strange, but maybe you don't need to be Pep Guardiola to say stick it between the you've been doing this since you were old enough to know what football is. Just do that, but better and successfully. in one of the 50 times you've tried in the last week or something like that. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe you need to start trying to create more quality chances, taking the shots, because I could be wrong, but it feels like there's a lot of half chances that are being snatched at from what I have seen. And obviously Arsenal fans are going to tell me I ain't seeing that right or whatever, and that's fine. But there will come a time where it's like, stop trying to walk the ball into the net and just put it in the net. Ultimately, I mean, that's been a thing said about Arsenal since I had air on my bollocks back in like the late 90s, like always trying to walk the ball into the net. You'd have won more things had you actually like took the scruff and yeah, I know you won a lot of things, but there were a lot of things you didn't win that you could have, and it was personally because of that perception. Man United didn't have that perception back then. Their perception, their perception was that they cheated and like they had the refs in their pockets and stuff like that. But still, just score goals. Just score goals.
Yeah.
You were really good at it last year, and now you're not.
Yep. And as we move on, and to Brownie, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It's not that you're playing Wigan and they give you easy shots. I think if you look at Arsenal games, they had many opportunities to shoot and they decided not to, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. So for me, Spencer, talk to me. Tell me about Arsenal being clinical. What's the answer?
Just shoot the damn ball. You know, like I mean, it sounds simple to talk about, right? I mean, it's, you know, you look at the movement, you look at what they're doing tactically, and I know we're linked to Onana today, which I'm actually really excited about. What he could bring to the team as far as solidifying the 8 position. But, you know, it's just, I think Saka should sit. I talked to an Everton buddy of mine today, and we were talking about it, and I was like, man, I would start Saka on the left side, flip it up on teams, right? Make them think differently about it. Go ahead, Tom.
Just a quick question. When you say an Everton buddy of yours, is this the same Everton buddy that you reference every week?
Yeah, same one. Do you think an American's going to know more than one Everton fan?
Well, yeah, I was surprised because I didn't know that Everton had more than one fan.
His name's Alex. He's a really good dude. I'm not going to lie. He's a good dude. He's, he just likes Everton.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, even though he's obviously footballingly challenged. But still, like, I just wondered. That's all. Sorry.
That's all good, Tom. Tom, listen. Any question you got, I'll answer anytime you want, brother. I'm here for you.
That's amazing. I'm glad you asked that because I'm glad you said that because I've got some things here.
Oh no.
Well, anyway, so back to the thing, Gary, as far as being clinical. I mean, look, they're just going to have to take it by the scruff of the neck. I know people want to blame the manager, but the players have to execute the game plan, right? And look, we can talk about the subs on Sunday. Like, I really, 87th minute sub just makes no sense to me. Like 80 minutes, I know people will say that's too late. To me, that's still okay because of the way extra time works now. You're probably going to get 15 to 16 minutes out of a player. But, I mean, my God, bringing those guys on the 87th minute, what did they think they were going to get out of them? As far as the clinicalness, majority of our shots, I know someone mentioned something about taking shots outside of the box. I think 22% of our shots on Sunday came from outside of the box, and Odegaard had a shot and Rice had a shot. There was a moment in there where Odegaard had the ball at the top of the 18-yard box in a half circle, and I just thought, just take a shot, and he didn't, and he passed the ball, and it's almost like they're playing, like you said, ticky-tacky, this pretty football. We have to score pretty goals, and the reality is, you beat City with 2 ugly goals, right? Deflections, just kicking the ball in the box, and there was a deflection that caused own goals. It's okay to do that, So the players are going to have to adjust. They're going to have to figure out. They're going to have to look inside themselves, and Arteta can only do so much. But there becomes a point where if this continues, if we're having the same discussion, Gary, in April, you got to ask yourself, has he lost the locker room? And that's a legit question because to me, I'm not Arteta out. I don't believe in any of that. I just think it's all just noise at this point. But if he loses the locker room, you have to move on at that point. But we don't know that yet. We're still early in this process with this season. But and they're just gonna have to do some soul searching. Maybe they find it in Dubai. I don't know, man.
I hear you. I hear you. And
They
you
shouldn't be
know
allowed
what
to
I
go to
find
Dubai.
interesting is that Tony is talking and he wasn't allowed to. That's what I'm finding interesting right now.
Big expert
not-
on that, any Gary?
Yeah,
Big
I was just
expert on interruptions. tonight.
no, you were just talking about deflections, and I don't think Liverpool cares how that goal went in.
Nope.
But you know what? When Arsenal scored 2 goals, as scored a goal against City, it was a deflection. But nobody cared that it was a headed ball by the wrong team.
No,
they
our
don't
fan
care.
base cares. Our fan base cares because a lot of our fan base is self-hating, and they just are that way.
Yeah.
And they just
No,
want
but
to
I
be
mean,
miserable.
but I know I mean the haters, the rivals were like, oh, you just scored on City with just a
Mhm.
deflected ball, and it's like,
Doesn't
hello,
matter.
you know. But it doesn't. We get more of the hate for it. But Alonso,
Sorry.
you wanted to
Get-
say something to Alonso before he starts?
Well, I was going to say, Gary, I think it's because a lot of our fan base engage in that conversation. If we ignored those people, they probably wouldn't keep engaging in it. But I'm sorry. Carry on, Alonso. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Gary, what was I supposed to elaborate on?
We were talking about being clinical and how
Oh,
if there's an answer for that.
yeah, I mean, I think, I think Spencer mentioned it past. If we changed formations and make it more, I don't know, going back to basics, meaning use a 4-4-2 formation and it could work. It's just that sometimes I question Arteta if he knows that, if he knows we need a more attacking minded formation or what, because we can do it. It's a possibility. I just wish that Arteta would just not be so arrogant and just try things that may work. Um, so yeah, I mean, we have, I guess, players to do that. Maybe change things around. Maybe put Martinelli in the middle, up front, rather as a lone striker. See how that works out, because there's been talk among supporters that they wouldn't mind seeing that experiment. And you saw the experiment with Havertz. Unfortunately, it didn't work out the way I had hoped, and I'm sure many others wished it as well. So, I mean, look, we brought in Rice to help us out defensively and be that pivot we always wanted. And it's kind of hard whenever you bring in 2 players to help with that, and they haven't really meshed well with with the squad before, and you're trying to change things around on the fly. It seems like so. It's a work in progress to me still. It shouldn't have been this long. It's not like Arteta's second year where you don't know what lineup you're going to use because of the players he's trying to incorporate in the system. So it's kind of weird how it's like that this year. Um, People wanted us to be at the top of the table when realistically we should have been fourth, because we're still bringing in new players to fit the system, to try and work it out. And at this point, we as fans are also losing confidence. Um, but I think what also hurts as well is losing Timber the first game of the year, because he looked pretty solid in preseason. And, he is more attacking left back like a Zinchenko was, but even better. So maybe having our fullbacks not going forward as much as we had hoped is also a factor too. Whereas last year we saw Ben White do with Saka going forward, and you're missing Xhaka on the left hand side, because for you have both sides working out pretty well, and it takes a team effort to score goals, and so as you saw last year, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I just saw this comment. I'm gonna be leaving after Tony talk, so or actually when Tony's talking. So Mr. Tom will take over for a bit. I might be back. I'll try to be back, but we'll see. Now, Sackett left right wing back, something I thought about as well, because I'm like, this we need to try something different. He's getting stale seeing him in that same position. Maybe he needs a different view of the game or something like that. You know, it's not like our fullbacks are, you know, doing that much sometimes, and he has played there, and that's where he made his name before he moved up front. But something to change things around, I think, is warranted. So, Tony, I'll let you have your say, and then Mr. Tom will probably cut you off in about 30 seconds once I leave. So, get it all in before I go.
So there's things you can do. You can go give the teams, go for eye exam, get glasses, bigger nets. But what you need a striker, preferably 2 strikers. You have Kai. Kai isn't a striker. Gabriel Jesus is not a striker. Eddie Nketiah is a 3rd string striker, not a starting striker. Not good enough for Arsenal. So let him go to Crystal Palace, but we didn't. So, windows open. You know what you need. Need that clinical striker. And when it hurt to get a big, tall striker, help you on the set pieces because we keep getting all these corners and we're not doing anything on it. So, more height would be good. But a lot of it, Arteta's changed his attack plan last year. Let's force it down the left side, have Zaka be up there with a striker. Zinchenko is cutting up there, very high up the field. Still leaving Gabriel on an island, but the point was we were scoring 3-4 goals a game, so we didn't really have to worry about what the defense was doing because we're going to outscore the other team. But now we're at a point where the defense is letting in more goals, less clear-cut chances because just everything's congested. You get Martinelli going down the wing. Everybody was arguing with me yesterday. I said he needs to slow down when he has the ball because there's nobody there with him. He crosses it, there's nobody in the box, nobody near the box, and half his crosses go out of bounds on the opposite side of the pitch. Football isn't that hard. You get a guy that can strike the ball, get into the back of the net. It's not hard. Just go buy a damn striker. I'm done, Tom.
Oh my. Okay, go on, Spencer.
All right, so quickly on that Saka left back conversation, I do absolutely like the idea of that. Strictly because if we're going to keep doing this inverted left wing back that we do, putting Saka in the middle of the pitch would be it would cause more issues, I think, for the defense for them to have to think of that. Which again, sometimes they double team Saka on that right wing, so then you have this now right wing that's a little bit more free, shall we say, that's has less attention to it. It would just be a different tactic, and I think it'd be something that you don't want long term, but I think it could shake things up in a proper manner. But yeah, I like that idea from BX, and I agree with Gary on that.
Yeah, I still think he needs a rest. He's already played 2,200 minutes, basically halfway point of a season.
Yeah.
Last season, 3,800 minutes. So he'll be close to 4,400 minutes as a 21-year-old. That's way too many minutes. Risking the kid getting completely burned out. You got Jesus. Jesus can easily play either wing, so you can flip him and Martinelli around. There's just other solutions out there.
Can he easily play either wing?
What? Who? Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Can he play either wing well?
I would say yes. The problem that I think Saka has. All right, so he plays right wing, obviously better than left wing, but he can play left wing. But the problem is he's left-footed. So does he have both feet developed? And the answer to that is no, obviously. But at the end of the day, your wingers should be all about making pace and creating space for the guys in the center, right? Should be able to draw the defense out. I think he can play both. I mean, I mean, you got to do something. You got to change something up. Maybe a different view on the pitch. Maybe something. Yeah, he's right about Jesus being able to play right wing too. I mean, there's that option, but he does need a break. There is that, but I think he can play both positions.
Okay, Alonso, are these two gentlemen right, or would you do this left wing back thing?
I would not. Here's why: because to me, we play forward back, so having two fullbacks is the most precise formation we should play. Ben White is a right back, not a right wing back, and Zinchenko has just lost his mind. So I think Saka, though at England has played left wing back, isn't his best position by far. Saka to me, I get why people want to have fullback because he's going to get hurt playing the wing at wing back. So I think we talked about this before on a podcast that he should. I don't want to mind seeing him at number 10 role as a career midfielder. Just experiment a little bit.
Okay.
So it's hard to answer that question, Tom, because I really want him at bring back for both club and country because that's what his best at. Though I see, Spencer's point of playing the left back position because that's where he started off at. So I want to see him as a right wing, as a right wing, than a left back.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I'm a bit scared. Okay, it's because you spoke for about 3 minutes, and then you said, "I don't know how to answer your question," and then I was like, "Why couldn't that have been the first thing you said?" No, mate, joking. Anyway, no. In all seriousness, right? I want to say hello to my boy Anders from Sweden. He's from Sweden. He's a Swedish Leeds fan, but no. In all seriousness, that was fair. I'm sorry. You have to roast everyone, to be fair, all right? Everyone. Even my mum. Even my mum taught me that. My mum taught me that because, my mum said to me once, she looked at me one day and went, "You're a right prick." And I went, "Oh, thanks, Mum." There's no punchline. That's just something she said to me. Anyway.
Well played, Tom.
Thank you. But, probably shaped me as a person, that finding out that my mum thinks I'm a prick. Anyway, she's right, but still, they're
What were you, 3 years old when she told you that time?
I was 38 years old. Yeah. But anyway. So, Bix Gunner says Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, White Rice. Wait, what? Oh, so I thought he was doing a grocery list. White Rice, Onana. Oh God, Trossard, Havanelli, Havertz, Martinelli. Who the fuck's Havanelli? Anyway, so, in all seriousness, I think we should all discuss the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's do it.
Because, and I know Gary's going to kill me. Oh, I saw this meme earlier about the Philadelphia Eagles and I should have posted it. It's like that Simpsons episode where, I don't know if you've seen it, when Homer's going across the gorge on the skateboard. And then Philadelphia are like, woohoo! We're 10-1. We're 10-1. We're definitely going to be in the playoffs. And then he decides he basically doesn't make it across. And then it's like 10-2, 10-3, 10-4, and then and he's hitting the rocks on the way down. He's like, Seattle Seahawks beat us. And I can't remember who else beat them.
San Francisco, Cowboys,
Yeah.
Cardinals, Giants.
And then they load him into the ambulance just before the ambulance is about to hit the tree. I'm sure you've all seen it. But anyway, as he's about to hit the tree, they're like, oh, they did make the playoffs. And then just before you know, he's about to fall off the cliff on the gurney again. But good luck in the playoffs.
Was that the
Thanks,
second
Tom.
or
We're gonna
third?
need.
Was that the second or third season, Tom?
It is, I believe it is very much a second season episode. I'm sure of it. Can't remember. It's the one with Evil Knievel. It's not actually Evil Knievel, but it's meant to be, obviously. Anyway. So, Tony, did your NFL team make the playoffs?
Nope. No,
Tony,
they did not.
who are your NFL team?
That would be the New England Patriots, Tom.
That's basically you supported the team that were winning a lot when you grew up. Well done.
No, they were
You're
not
right.
winning. That's when I liked.
Tony been a fan since Drew Bledsoe.
That's fair. That's actually, I recall you telling me about Drew Bledsoe, so I'm sorry. We will get back on Arsenal. Don't worry, you Arsenal fans who are sitting there going, "Oh, Gary disappeared," so we immediately pivoted away onto anything but Arsenal. Yes,
Tom, we can do NFL playoffs, dude. Like this world is yours right now. I mean, if people have watched 24 hours of people just go Arteta out, like maybe they need some NFL culture in their life. I'm just
we
saying.
could just do a live watch along
audience,
of
the live audience. I'm reaching into you right now, and I'm put in the comments something you want discussed, and
Wrestling.
I do not care what it is. Just bring it up, and I will discuss it with the panel right now.
I'm a professional waffle.
Tom.
That's what I do for a living.
How much do you
No.
think you'd win,
For
Spencer, if
fuck's
you
sake,
bet on
don't even talk.
Michigan versus Washington?
Well, how much
The
you?
championship.
Well, Michigan's up 14-3 right now. This game is
Alonso,
getting.
your question, please. What was you going to say? Sorry,
Tom, I have a question.
Sorry, I meant to unmute Tony then. My apologies, Tony.
Will there be a certain 60s, 70s, and 90s, and 80s pop star making a guest appearance?
I'm so glad you did that. I'm so glad. Sorry. Let me. One second. Sorry. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you did that. Because Gary earlier on said, they can vouch it, said, I don't ask for you to do the Michael Jackson thing, but you do it anyway. To which then Tony went, actually, he does get asked to do the Michael Jackson thing. And it was you!
But I actually do it in a way that doesn't know who actually it is without saying who it is.
Of course. But the point is, Gary was wrong in that moment, and that's the important thing. So
That's kind of funny, though.
So thank you, Tony, for pointing it out. Thank you, Alonso, for carrying it out. And thank you, Spencer, for wearing the Arsenal hat inside with the bobble. So,
Spencer, do the moonwalk.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Tony? No. Alonso, you get the honour. What did BX Gunner just say? Wonderful. Chris Nick says, if every person in the world played in a one-on-one single elimination, how many rounds would you need to win? And I believe it is along the lines of, does it include a third and fourth place playoff? Oh no, of course not. That's how many matches. My apologies. So it's obviously the total population. I don't know
divided
the
by
answer.
half.
Does any of you know the answer?
No, I mean, no.
3.6 billion and 1
Million.
billion.
Great question, Chris Nix. Great question. Great question. Sorry, I can't say my R's, to be honest.
I mean, it is a good question. I haven't thought about it. You know?
Yep. No, I understood it as if it's the FA Cup knockout tournament,
Oh,
but with humans. Wait, there are humans. Anyway, sorry. What was that? What was you going to say, Mr. Spencer?
how can we all play a game online? What system does everyone have? Well, I'm a PlayStation player.
I am a PlayStation player, but I have the PS4, and I don't pay for the PlayStation Plus on principle of I'll never use it.
I am a PS5 user. So
I'll regale you with a quick story of my PlayStation Online FIFA career.
go ahead.
Okay, this won't take long. Believe me, this won't take long. So it was basically in around 2011, something like that. And basically, my broadband. Well, you can imagine how bad my internet was because I never had the wire. Okay, in the PlayStation, so it was wireless, obviously. Sorry. The answer is 34. 34 rounds. Interesting.
Very
We'll have to get a
interesting.
pen and paper to work that out. Anyway, well, don't need to. We said the answer. How can we play a game together online? What systems everyone have? Different ones, ostensibly. But basically, played on FIFA. I can't remember which FIFA it was, but it wasn't recent. And basically, I picked Leeds, obviously, when Leeds were in League One. So it would have been back 2010, League One. And basically, they would match the teams against each other based on the star rating system. I don't know if they still do that.
They do.
Okay. So basically, I got Leeds United, third tier of English football at the time, got put against, I think it was Freiburg or something, who were basically like a bottom level Bundesliga team. But they were still a Bundesliga, like first division team. And it was like, well, this doesn't seem fair. But what also counted against me was the shit internet. And basically, I had all the ball. I went forward. I lost the ball. And then my internet glitched and I was losing 1-0. And that happened 4 times. And I lost 4-0. And I was like, that's it. For the sake of the health of my PlayStation as a physical entity, I'm going to retire from playing online FIFA in this moment. With a record of 0-1.
I played online FIFA with 22, and I guess I was doing crossplay. And I went to play this guy. He had PSG. Somehow he had 2 goalkeepers on the pitch. I don't know what he put in the cheat code, or I have no earthly idea. I ended up beating him. I mean, I'm a bare average FIFA player. I'll just be honest. I'm very average. I might get my ass kicked in the game, and I might kick somebody's ass, but whatever. I mean, somehow he had 2 goalkeepers, and I was like, okay. But, yeah.
Were there 2 goals or only 1 goal?
Well, like, there was 1 goal, obviously, but it was just fucking weird because there was 2 PSG keepers out there, and I'm just like, what is this?
Do you guys ever play Call of Duty?
I used to.
Played it 1 time.
So it was really cool. I used to play Call of Duty Cold War, right? And it had a great storyline to it. It was like back in the 80s and undercover CIA operative stuff. Well, it was a cool game, except that it was too short. And I'm playing it again because that's the only Call of Duty game I could beat at this moment. Um, so I played again just for kicks, and it's really, really cool game. I love it. But I like playing missions. So these kids nowadays like playing like zombies or online. I'm like, bro, like why?
I don't know why every Call of Duty needs zombies. Makes no sense.
Because people love shooting zombies. It's the Walking Dead thing, isn't it?
But it
Plus,
shuts it up.
plus they're not people anymore, so it's you're detached from it. Anyway, my one story about Call of Duty, well, apart from watching my brother camp in the corner and just sniper everyone, which was quite funny. Not for them. I'm sure they were furious. Same. Anyway, I borrowed the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 disc off my
Mhm.
brother. I installed it in my PlayStation. I played the campaign, the main one-player mode. I found out I was really not good at it. I got killed a lot, and then 28 minutes later, it was back with my brother and uninstalled on my PlayStation.
That's right. Yeah.
Because, fuck me, I was shit.
Oh
I've got,
man.
I've got a great Call of Duty story. So my wife's old best friend's husband liked to play FIFA. I mean, not FIFA, but Call of Duty with his friends, and he invited me to play one time, and they were all like level 65, and I was like level 3. So we were playing in that team deathmatch. I got booted after like 4 games because I had like 4 kills and 17 deaths, and I was bringing everything down. All of a sudden, the connection lost. I didn't hear from him again. So, I mean, I thought we were just here to hang out, man. I didn't realize it was so serious, right? Like,
Oh, it's proper serious, this Call of Duty stuff. There's nothing more serious than Call of Duty. Now on something lighter, about the Epstein files. No, I have no idea. I have no idea.
have you seen? Hold on, Tom. Have you seen like the Stephen Hawking memes that have been going around?
Oh come on! Have I seen the Steve? I couldn't wait. Could not have imagined my excitement when Hawking came up in this. I was like, oh my god, we can finally take him down.
Like, you can't like. I'm sure people like. Hold on, let's get ourselves in trouble here. I'm sure the boys' chats have had Stephen Hawking jokes in it before. You have to be careful which boys you send it to, right? But not saying I've made Stephen Hawking's jokes, but I'm sure there are people out there that have made Stephen Hawking's jokes before. It was cool to make Stephen Hawking's jokes. Now that it's like that Lord of the Rings, right? And they kill the Iroquois, kills that one orc. He's like, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. So, yes. The best one I've seen is from Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm not going to say that I believe or don't believe anything, but if there was a time that I could believe that he would actually re-walk again, it would be in that window of time on that island. It might be a magical island that when you're only on the island, can you actually move around or stuff. Let's just say, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
He made it on the pedophile list. I mean, excuse me. Sorry. The wife's asking. She's like, "You can't make fun of him." I said, "You kind of can now. It's okay. I'm sorry."
What's he gonna do? Haunt me?
Ollie,
You're gonna wake up to this shitty
I'll wake up to his ghost going.
voice every morning.
What?
Tom, I have a question.
Oh my god, that'd be the worst thing ever. I'd be like, Steve, you're a ghost, mate. You're a ghost, and you want to ask me a question.
We're fucked, man. This is bad.
You could do it. You could do anything in the world, and you're
made
going
it
to
on the
waste it
list.
on me.
Okay.
Sorry.
He made it on the list. It's fair game. Sorry.
Is this where we're meant to pretend we're only doing these jokes because he's on some sort of list, and like I wouldn't have done it in general?
That's the only way we did the jokes, right?
Yeah. I totally wasn't making jokes about him 3
man.
weeks ago when I didn't even know the list existed.
I'm gonna be fair with you. I didn't even think about Stephen Hawking in the last 5-6 years until the list came out. So
I'll think about him at least once every 3 weeks.
Is that when he pops up
I'll
on
be
The
honest.
Simpsons? Is that
I
when he
actually-
pops up on The Simpsons? Tom?
That yeah, basically.
Oh,
I actually
fuck, the
think about
Simpsons
him.
did that dirty. Or was it Family Guy? Oh,
I think about Hawking even more than I think about my Uncle Alan.
well, this took a dark turn.
It really did. But you know what isn't dark? BX Gunner with. Have you heard the one where our attack is about as useful as Hawking with a chip? Wait, oh my BX, why you got to do me like that? I thought it was a nice little comment about football, and then it's really easy to do the. I totally knew what it was. And I just pretended to do the thing that Gary does, but Gary legitimately doesn't. Anyway,
He doesn't pay
sorry,
attention. It's okay.
he doesn't. But I was pretending. I knew full well he wrote Hawking.
So to be
Anyway.
fair, like me and Tom know what we're doing. Gary does not.
It's like Gary presses it as he's reading it. Then it's already up on the screen, and he's like, "Fuck! Now what do I do?"
Okay, so
Disgusting.
we've got a comment from the Sasky Gooner, who, to be fair, smells a bit mossy. It's Moss. Moss changed his name to the Sasky Gooner. Is that because of Saskatoon? Or is it Sassy, spelled wrong? I don't know. All right?
Saskatchewan, Tom.
Yeah. And I only know about that because that's where Bret Hart won his first WWE title, I believe. Anyway, so hire Tony Alonso. Tommy leads and is Arsenal 1986 Broncos Gooner. Wow.
Those are expensive.
Wow.
They're like $5 a pop. I
And,
think food line prices.
Jose, how you doing? He's like Moss, and then okay, let's do it.
Nope.
Apparently,
I'm not
Stephen
laughing at this.
was never charged prior to his death. They simply forgot to plug him in.
Oh God, forgive me.
If Stephen Hawking was arrested, he'd have been Kane. Because of the thing they gave. Anyway, sorry. Too far. Anyway, Sasky Guna says, Michigan is owning this shite. I can hear you guys, but that's because I'm live too over on Mass Sports World. Go and watch his show because it's probably far more informative than this. Actually, like, go and watch his show. Watch his show. Because then the less of you that are seeing this, the less guilty I'll feel about Stephen Hawking and the things we're going to say about him. Spoiler, we're going to say a lot about him. No, we're not. I'm joking, all right? Joke. Come back. Anyway.
Is it time for your Chris, Tom, since you skipped them last week?
I did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No, I had cheese and onion crisps last week, and I waited till after the show to eat them. I'm sorry. I keep thinking of things about Stephen Hawking. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so Tony, what you got in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Oh, that looks like something we have here called
cinnamon checks.
Oh, what are they called? It's like the crisscross things. I'm not really a breakfast person, so I don't really do the cereal thing. I don't like when they get soggy.
That's why you have to eat them quickly.
Or just sans the milk and not do
Eat
it.
them dry.
Not put them in milk.
Sometimes you just gotta eat them dry, Tom.
BX is gonna, yeah. BX says he's about to eat a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, which I believe is John Cena's favourite cereal, according to Wayne Johnson.
cereal. Fruity Pebbles.
Almost found out because he was obviously saying it. He was obviously trying to say that Cena was a bit gay for liking Fruity Pebbles or something like that. And I was thinking, like, but what if it is actually delicious? Like, what's wrong with that?
Have you had Fruity Pebbles, Tom?
No, I'm not. I'm not a cereal person, so I don't know if it's good or not.
It's actually really good.
That's what I wonder. That's what I assumed. I was like, to make it onto a cereal store shelf is like prime real estate, right? Like it's actually very competitive.
I don't know, man. You go down to my local Walmart and they've got a lot of off-brand stuff you can buy. You know, like instead of like, you know, if you go to Food Lion, instead of getting Mountain Dew, you can get Mountain Lion.
I actually had Mountain Dew for the first time last year, and it was okay. I'm
So here's
surprised
another
it-
question: Do you
Please.
drink your soda cold or warm? Like room temperature.
Most of my, let's say for argument's sake, the bottle of Pepsi is that I usually keep it in a place that's predominantly cool, like not cold but cool. In the summer, I will then migrate bottles into the fridge, but generally in winter they'll go under cupboard under the stairs, where they are I would say slightly below room temperature, but obviously not chilled, and it's fine. But ideally, obviously, chilled is perfect. Anyway, Chris Nix with I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure I can read this out with no guilt or issues. If Stephen Hawking, it's got me already. If Stephen Hawking was guilty of getting up to no good on Epstein Island, I'm glad he was punished for it. What do you mean? He got the electric chair.
Oh,
Wow. So to pivot slightly, okay, for the sake of like our souls, okay, especially Alonso's, he's really been picking on Hawking. I don't know what
And
Hawking did to you, Alonso, but you got to stop bullying him, mate. But anyway, that's called sarcasm. He hasn't bullied him at all. It's mainly me and Spencer. And by mainly me and Spencer, I mean entirely Spencer.
So Tom, so you're gonna watch Arsenal right on Saturday?
Could watch along of Arsenal.
No, on Saturday, Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can do a Royal Rumble watch along on Saturday. I've not
Oh.
fully decided which one yet. Okay,
I thought the actual Royal
Oh.
Rumble was coming up.
I'm sorry, Battle Royal.
that'd be that'll be on the 27th, 29th, one of the two. Basically that weekend, the last weekend of no. I cannot lose this opportunity to do a Royal Rumble. All right.
What about the reverse battle royal?
Oh my god, if I could actually, it's because you won't have it. I've got it on DVD, probably. No, I'm sure I have. Oh, Spencer, this wrestling match is absurd. It's a reverse battle royal.
What year was it?
It was TNA Impact. Or no, it wasn't Impact then. TNA in 2000. I think they did it in 2006. And they did it again in 2007 because it was such a roaring success the first time. And cut long story short, all the wrestlers are outside the ring, and you have to get in the ring. And the first 8 that get in the ring win. But the best part of that is, in theory, that sounds all right. Like, oh, that's really different. How it really played out was loads of wrestlers just standing around outside, not doing anything, which had me then sitting there going, why aren't you making a dash for the ring? And they're like, oh, because you're not supposed to get in the ring, are you? Because you're not supposed to win. Morons. Fire the man that booked it. Who do you think booked it, Tony?
Bro.
What you got to do is like a regular battle royal, bro. But the opposite, bro.
I think you got to stick with the Royal Rumble, like Alonzo asked.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean,
Really
like I said,
enjoyed it.
I'm a not big wrestling fan. I'm not saying I don't dislike it.
No,
But
no, please.
after you describe both to me, I mean, I already know about the Royal Rumble, but then Reverse Battle Royal, it sounds funny on the comical, but
Yeah.
that would be a
Not good.
painful 3 hours.
Oh no, it doesn't last 3 hours. This was like what 20 minutes of the show. It's just one match where they
But
basically
don't you have to technically watch the whole show in the premise, or could you just do the match?
oh yeah, no. That the rest of the show itself is fine. The thing with TNA Impact, or what became Impact, was the wrestling on it's generally really good, but all the storylines are mental / bad.
Yeah.
And so
Jeff Jarrett.
yeah. Oh, Jeff. Oh, Jarrett. Oh my God, Jarrett. Sorry. Anyway,
What about maturing King of the Ring, Tom?
what in you? Oh, bloody! That was from our watch along in July, weren't it? Or Great American Bash, where it was you had to throw them from one ring to the other and then throw them out. WCW WCW went to the expense of building 2 rings for one match at the start of the show. Not even the
Okay,
main
it wasn't WCW, Tom. It was NWA.
Same thing at the time. Same thing.
No, the production from the one I watched to the one that Alonzo picked went down a lot.
Arguable, but fair, I suppose.
I
Don't get me.
Because
good
it had no previews. It was weird. There was like no, you had no idea why the 2 people were fighting all the way through the entire card.
That's WCW in general, though. The only, if I remember rightly, and sorry, Alonzo, or have the floor after this, is generally 90% of WCW shows don't show you why people are fighting because they just expect that you know already through watching television. Which is the one thing WWF always got right, was assuming the audience are stupid and don't necessarily watch everything. Which, when you do watch everything, you sit there sometimes being like, why are you showing me this? I've already seen it. But loads of their audience haven't. So then when you watch it 20 years later, you're like, great, I know what's going on. But anyway, sorry, Alonso, you was going to say something.
So that one I picked, I didn't know it was gonna be that bad until I actually saw it because it was my first time watching it ever. and I saw the card and I was like Sting and Bull or Animal or Hawk right there fighting the Nasty Boys. I thought that was a cool tag team given the circumstances. But I didn't know it was gonna be like an hour long
Tag
fallout.
match.
Yeah.
I'll give you
With
some
the winner.
context on this, Spencer. Alonso picked a show, right? And like he said, on paper, it looks good. In reality, there was a 30-minute tag team match that didn't even finish in a draw because 5 seconds before the end, there was a disqualification. And I was like, why couldn't you have done the disqualification in like the first 5 minutes? If you don't want anyone to lose or win or whatever, just don't do it.
Which show was that
I
again?
was furious. It was WCW Starrcade 1993.
I remember that stream because you apologized to Russ and everybody that this was Alonzo's pick. You apologized profusely. And I was just kind of hanging out in the comment section, not knowing what you guys are watching, just having a good old time. I remember it.
I was so upset. Nah, it was funny. It was funny. No, I like it when people pick bad wrestling. I like it really because it's just funny in hindsight.
I'm not gonna lie, Assembled, we've already beat Arsenal to death tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just gonna say. So BX says it's made a live in-game decision and went with some Apple Jacks.
Not as good as Fruity Pebbles, but still a good cereal.
The Assembled is here. Let's be fair. The Assembled is here. It's a good evening. It's congratulated Leeds. My internet is working fine. Touch wood. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. So, Alonso, what are your plans between now and your next venture onto the internet?
So I'm off tomorrow, but I'm working 7 days straight.
Why would you do that to yourself, sir?
Well, because right now we're shorthanded at work. And my boss texted me saying
Your,
that to
does
come
your
in
boss not
on
know you're a
Sunday.
star on the internet?
My coworkers do know, but not him. So
That's
so
fair. That's fair.
I'm so my next opportunity to become more of a star will be on a Saturday night. At every time you guys have the Royal Rumble, I'll be on. Because I'll not do the work until Sunday at 1:30 my time.
Okay.
So I'll be starring in that podcast.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Tony, do you have anything planned?
Before Thursday? Nope.
I just realised we just spent like the last 30 minutes with Tony, like on the big screen. Didn't even occur to me.
Eating cereal.
I just thought it was the natural size of Tony's head, if I'm being honest. Wait, what? Anyway,
It's pretty big time.
that's what she said. Anyway, so
Do you think
he's
Elijah,
not, to my knowledge.
could your store hire? Do you think they could hire a certain person, make you work the meat department, as long as he doesn't cut his fingers off again? No. Good job for Mickey.
Get it, Tony. I thought you were doing Rocky at first, and then you were talking about like fingers cut off, and it got a bit weird.
The wrestler. Come on, Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. Oh, the movie. Yeah, of course. It was a good movie. The Assembled asked, what is this evening's criteria, Mr. Tom? Well, you missed out on like an hour and so of actual Arsenal discussion. You missed like a mini cultural battle in the comments. Playing out as like, you know, the Jedi of the Arsenal fans and the Sith of the Arsenal fans.
And I may or may not be the starter of that drama and may have walked
totally
away.
are the star of that drama.
Hold on. I may have walked away and just kind of allowed everybody to fight it out.
Were you the one that started the spelling bee? You the culprit?
Dude.
He did. He totally did. I already know, even without even seeing it, I know what he did.
There was a word misspelled on the tweet from the person that responded, and my wife wanted to say, why don't you correct him on it? And I said, let's not do anything else. Let's just let it go. So,
but I am impressed with your wife's knowledge of. I've noticed you spelled something wrong in your retort. That means you lost the battle.
Well, it wasn't me that misspelled it. It was the other person.
That's what I'm saying. The other person.
Yeah. Oh, I know. She's well, she'll pull that card out in a heartbeat, dude.
Yep.
It was exceptional. I don't remember.
I don't care what the facts are of the situation. You spelled that word wrong.
Yeah.
Therefore, you lost. Classic.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
In that banner. Although I did once, I know this. Would you believe that I got into an argument on social media with an individual that I don't know? Would that shock you at all, really?
Oh, man.
But basically, the guy he put up like about 5 clown emojis, and I was like, "You're above the age of 12, and you're using the clown emojis, sir." Think about this to yourself. I've never heard from that individual again.
I used GIF responses, and it still kept the person engaging, so it's all good. He's an Arsenal fan. He loves Arsenal like we do. We just happen to not be, I don't know, miserable all the time about it. I don't know.
But I was saying to you earlier, and I found this quite interesting, how like there's obviously a perception like of negativity in the fan base and positivity, and like people have opinions on different things, and people don't hate things hard enough for people's liking and stuff. And I thought it'd be interesting because I come in here sometimes, I'll be like, I'm thrilled that we won 3-0 against a team we should beat 3-0 and we should be significantly better in, and I'm happy that happened, right? But as I was saying to you earlier, last season it was different because I was very upset with the Leeds team a lot. Not when we won games, though. When we won games, I was thrilled that we won games. But then there were other Leeds fans that would be like, oh, on the internet, be like, oh, you're really negative. Stop being so down on the team. I was like, we're fucking 19th.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely understandable, too. Like, you're 19th place, you're fighting for relegation. Like, never mind. We're going to open a can of worms there.
No, but still, just thought it was interesting. I'm not even saying that about this ain't really about the Arsenal fans. This be saying about other Leeds fans that are like, and obviously we are not in that league really for like, let's say good or bad fans, because generally most Leeds fans do think the same things. Because basically, you can generally tell Leeds fans are quite together on when the manager's time is up, sort of thing. As in most fan bases, it's actually usually quite obvious. The only time I've really known it to be divisive was Bielsa, because some people felt he should have been. Some people, I personally don't think he should have been. I can understand why he was, because
my biggest memory of the Bielsa time, and I'm going to open that can of worms, was that you guys were very wide open, and I think that left defensively in the back, and it just kind of caught up with itself, and you stopped scoring goals, and that's really, I mean, I Bielsa, I liked him. I say I liked him. I liked more of just like, we're going to have a go at it. It's probably not the most intelligent thing to do in the Premier League, but, if you're like a 10th through 20th club, which Leeds has won the title and stuff like that, so they do have a history, right? So let's not get ourselves here. But if you're like Burnley and Bournemouth, I keep thinking like, man, I would just have a go at it, right? Like, why not? If you're never going to potentially win the league, why not, have a go at Man City one of these days? You're going to lose some potentially anyway. You might as well have fun doing it. So
this was it. In the second season, we had a big injury problem, and I know every team has an injury problem, but we really did. The problem was in the second season was we were like the only team that had half a team out, and it wasn't COVID. So and basically, we had to play the matches.
And you guys fielded a academy team against Arsenal on the bench. If I'm not, that was a lot of academy players. So,
and I'm not saying anything against Arsenal in this, but I don't think that match would have happened if you had the injuries that we had, because you would have gone, oh, we've got a player with COVID or whatever, and you'd have got the game called off. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm wishing we did do that because of the way the game played out. But Bielsa's sort of thing, even if he could have not had the game played, he would have turned around and gone, no, I still want to play the game. I want to see if I can beat Arsenal with my 15-year-olds.
Isn't that the game where Ayling accidentally slipped 2-footed into Martinelli? Was it Luke Ayling?
Probably. Yeah, probably. It was great. No, that was the second game. The one that got sent off at the Emirates,
We got the Nerds Gummy Blasters. I actually went and picked these up before the show tonight, and it's obviously my wife's fault because she had them Saturday. We were sitting here, and it's like, hey, you want one? And I had one, and then I eventually stole the bag from her. So
I just thought I'd show you this. Spurs are obviously they've signed Timo Werner, I believe, but they are now preparing the goals at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for his impending arrival.
That's nice. I think we talked about this yesterday. I don't know maybe it was Saturday. It's funny because I saw like one YouTuber who's a Chelsea fan that called Timo Werner a traitor for going to Tottenham.
Absolutely
but didn't they run
that Mr. Jennings?
Oh, of course it was. I didn't watch the video. I just saw the headline. Yeah, I was like, that's an odd. I was like, that's an odd headline. So I kept it moving. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, didn't they run him out of Chelsea? So if you ran him out of your club, you shouldn't be mad that he decide to go play for your rival. I don't know. I mean,
But Chelsea loves selling to their rivals. They have no problem with it.
yeah.
some
I
reason.
mean,
But they didn't even sell him to a right. It's like you sold him abroad and he's come back. It's a
Yep.
bit like Amian coming back from Barca and going to Chelsea.
yeah.
It'd be like calling him a traitor, and it's like, well, he's obviously not, because you got. Saying that though, I would be upset if Rafinha joined Man United or Calvin Phillips. So if Calvin Phillips joined Man United, he wouldn't be allowed to go home to his family. Pretty sure that. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
His grandma would haunt him forever. But anyway.
But isn't that when you do the right of refusal thing, where you get the first say, you get to bid before you can join another Premier League team? Right of first refusal.
Yeah, but even if we had the first refusal on Rafinha, I venture to guess that we probably couldn't afford the bid that would get made on him. Actually, probably if we offered about £12.50 for him at the moment, they'd probably take it because they need the money. Barcelona, they need the money enough that they've tried to screw over football on multiple occasions to get it.
And they could just sell AEW and fund it that way.
You talking about Fulham? What does Leeds, Rafinha, and Man United have to do with AEW?
Oh,
What's that got to do with the price of milk in Denmark on a Wednesday? Anyway. Bix Gunn says, Barca needs money badly. That's why I'd go raid them. Bix Gunner, you, sir, are an agent of chaos. And you are as well, Tony Turner.
no, mate.
I got you pegged, young man. Got you pegged.
Yeah, I mean, assembled. We did our whole Arsenal thing, and honestly, man, like, what else is there to say? I'm being serious now. Like, the ball in the back of the net, baby. I don't know. Like,
there's only so like I find this. I don't know. I could be wrong, but even my own team, like I managed to have to try. I fit 2 Leeds matches into my Leeds show, and yeah, granted, it went over a bit over an hour. But it's like it gets to a stage where it's like, how much more can I say about my own football team?
I might not even use the slides I made, Tom. I'd be like,
Especially in our position where you've won 1 of the last 7.
I get the anger. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Arsenal fans shouldn't be angry at losing. Like, that's not what's being said. It's just a bit like it feels sometimes that people are like they're manifesting the defeats, so they can then get angry at it. I don't know. Like, I could be entirely wrong. I'm not wrong. That's what's happening. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, sorry, it's that cough that tells the truth. It's back. But anyway, Gary's going to be so angry when he hears this back because he will watch this tomorrow.
yeah, we're in trouble, Tom. It is what it is.
He will totally watch this tomorrow, and he will give us a running commentary as he watches it. He's going to go, Tom. And why did I do it like he has Tony's accent? He'd be like, Tom.
And honestly, look, I tweeted at Alexi Lawless not to come on, but to be in the comment section. He ain't getting on this show.
I wouldn't let him in. I wouldn't let him in.
I
don't care if you played in the World Cup '94. I don't care who you are.
We just wanted to come mingle with the people, man. That's it. Man of the people.
I don't care who you are, all right? As long, like, you ain't in our comment section for a bit. Yeah?
Yeah.
You put time in, son.
Yeah, you got to put your time in. We got to see that you're worthy of it. We will give you a task to complete, and you have to complete it.
exactly. You will find the jaded monkey by the next full moon.
That's it. Hmm.
And then Smithers walks in and says, "Well, actually, sir, we found the jaded monkey. It was in your dryer."
I thought he was going to say he found Stephen Hawking's motherboard.
Yeah, Alexi Lalas played for the United States national team, men's national team, obviously,
The
in the
1994 World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's a pundit, so like, but obviously
like him.
I don't see him. So
I like him. Some people, I know BX is not a big fan. That's fine. And he's pretty decent. I mean, I don't like Clint Dempsey as a pundit. I'm not a big fan of Clint Dempsey. But that's me.
where do you stand then? This is may be an interesting question, might not.
Yeah,
Where do you stand on like the level of success a player has to have to be a pundit? Like, because for example, in England, I'm sure I mentioned this last week, so apologies if I'm repeating myself. But like, it was a bit controversial when there was a footballer called Robbie Savage who played in the League Cup for Leicester. He played for Leicester. I think he played in the Derby team that got 11 points in the Premier League in 2008. Sorry. Anyway, he said something on commentary or pundit. It's either commentary or in the pundit box or whatever. That basically John Terry, who noted serial trophy winner and shagger of teammates' girlfriends, basically said he said something he didn't like, and basically John Terry basically went, "Who are you to question me on what I'm doing on football pitch when I've won more than you?"
So
he got shit for it, to be clear.
So I mean, look. This is the thing, right? The pundits thing. I think you don't have to be super successful to be a good pundit. I think you've had to play the game, understand the game, be a good presenter. I think something you have to be is personable, right? Like you have to be somebody, especially if you're in like a studio setting, or like I don't know if you get to watch the Paramount Plus stuff, but you got Thierry Henry, you got Jamie Carragher, Micah Richards, and I can't remember the female.
The clips that go viral on Twitter,
but they work so good together, and it flows so well, right? And I don't know what her history is, but she yin and yangs them the whole way through, right? And it just everything flows good. So at the end of the day, man, you don't have to be super successful to be a good pundit. I just think you have to know the game, know how to present it, know how to speak about it, and then also be a personable person that people like and someone that can relate to. So for John Terry to have that take.
It's one of these things where I can get why he would say it, because he's obviously upset at something, and the first thing you're going to look at is, well, who said it and what have they done that I have, I get it. But then when you're detached from it a bit, it's like it'd be like you buy a meal from a chef. Like you go to a restaurant, you buy a meal made by Gordon Ramsay and you don't like it. What you meant to tell? You're not allowed to tell him you didn't like it because he's Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, that's that's an interesting, because DX's comment, for example, I don't know how much, I know Tony watches the NBA, but the TNT broadcast, Charles Barkley, Kenny Anderson, whatever, that group works well together. Smith all work good together. It's just Shaq, it's these dudes hanging out, talking ball. And I don't know. There's like Tony Romo. So BX brought up Tony Romo. Some people like him, some people don't. I think he's okay. The Broncos haven't been good, so we don't really get a lot of Tony Romo games. We just don't.
But Spencer, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
For me, I prefer Romo being. He's a smart guy, and to me he's pretty knowledgeable. He's anti-biased, and I prefer him actually over Chris Collinsworth and Troy Aikman. To be fair, because Romo he's also pretty funny in the sense that football fans can appreciate that. Being an Eagles fan, I used to hate Romo, but he's really knowledgeable, and he's not biased at all. Whereas you guys have like, Aitman, you have, Collinsworth, those guys are bad because they're biased. And at least with Romo getting more than he asked for as a commentary, rather. And he gets along with, is it Jim Nantz who does it with him?
I think my only issue with Romo
Spencer, it is Jim Nantz, right, who does the games with him?
the which one?
Jim Nantz?
Yeah, Jim Nantz is with
Okay.
him. The problem with Romo is he gets a little corny at time with his sayings. That's the only thing I would gig him with. But he's likable too. Like he's
Yeah.
some people. It's like Joe Buck. Like for me, the NFL for years. So look, my favorite commentators for the NFL for years, and I'm gonna probably get hell for this. John Madden, Pat Summerall. Pat Summerall would say so little but say so much. And if
Right.
you go back and watch some of those old '90s clips, there'd be a guy running the end zone, and it'd be like Smith, 20 touchdown, and there's something about it that resonates to me. And Madden, it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but the whole telestrator, and it was just if Madden and Summerall were at your game, that was a big game.
See, to me, like, you're only as good as your play-by-play guy, to me, and those two work really well together. Even Al Michaels, to an extent, and John Madden. And
Al is excellent. Go ahead. Al is excellent.
And to me, the whole Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth thing just didn't work well together, in my opinion. I think Al did his best just to like put up with it, Because to me, Chris Collinsworth's pretty corny. He's cornier than Tony Romo.
Mike Tirico's doing it with him now.
Yeah.
So for me with Collinsworth, I played a lot of Madden 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Collinsworth's in the game, and Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson's the worst.
Have that game.
I'm playing as we're sitting here. I'm playing Madden 25 right now in the background. Sorry to snitch on myself, but and it's got Jim Nantz and Phil Simms on it. But like, I heard so much Gus Johnson and Chris Collinsworth from Madden 12 that I'm not saying I got tired of Chris Collinsworth, but it became like a second nature NFL where I kind of recognized the voice. And I don't know, this is the thing. Like the Broncos had Matt Millen, and I couldn't tell you who the other guy was on Sunday, but I had it on mute the whole time. And I was listening to a Denver sports guy discuss the game. And that just was more entertaining than actually watching the actual game itself. But, the NFL, I think, and think about English football, for example. What's the one guy that you hear is like the old FIFA games? I can't think of his name right now, but I can hear his voice.
Oh, Alan Smith.
Alan Smith is one, but this is an older guy. He's been doing it for years. I'm expecting Tom to help me out here on this one, but he does FA Cups. The guy,
What in American? Do you mean Lee Dixon?
No, Lee Dixon's really good. No, Peter Drury's the best.
Martin Tyler?
Yes, Martin Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
He retired, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I hear Martin Tyler, I think of the Premier League or English football. Because I remember from the FIFA games, and like his way of telling, I mean, he's excellent. I think Martin Tyler's one of the best for that genre. But Peter Drury is excellent. Peter Drury is just an excellent wordsmith. He's out there. The stuff he puts together, right? When someone scores a game winner, he has to pre-plan that. There's no way
That's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like it.
You're not a Peter Drury fan?
I'm not a fan of Peter Drury. This has actually come up on Ryan's show.
Did you not like him during COVID? He would like commentate anything.
From the Phoenix of the Ashes.
Commentate people walking across the street. That's great.
That I would find funny because it's obviously pre-planned, and that's quite funny. But in actual games, the things that a lot of people say, oh, this magical poetry that he does, and to me, it's but that's stuff that he has planned in case it happens. Like like the wizard from Wishaw or something like that. It's like you've planned that in case Gareth Bale scores in that game or whatever. And it's like, so it's not as off the cuff. And yeah, the delivery on it's obviously natural enough to afford people, and that's fine. But that's my problem with it. It's not as off the cuff as people think it is.
You know the other one I was thinking about that's really good, and I just lost it. Rocky Ray Hudson. He does La Liga games. And he does some of the messy calls that are like, some of the stuff he says is absolutely just, I mean, I'm sure BX knows what I'm talking about. Like one of his sayings, he talks about Messi. Let's see. I'm not going to repeat that one. I'll put it in the private chat to you, Tom, but it says you could drop a tarantula in his pants and he'd still be cool. Again, the medicine man arrives and sinks his flaming spear in the heart of Real Madrid, talking about Messi. This is something else he said. I'm putting it in the private chat. I'm not putting that out there, but you know, it's that's what makes the game special. That's what makes you remember the games. It's not even remotely PG. We're not repeating that. Come on, dude. We've done enough bad today.
And Tom set it up like I look like I'm a culprit over here instead of him over there.
It's good times.
What you mean? The comment possession without penetration is just masturbation? That one.
That's the one.
Good night, folks.
No, because I know that it's for Gary's benefit. Because when he's watching this tomorrow, and he will watch it, so hi Gary from Beyond the Grave, he will basically go, what is the comment? What is he talking about? So that's why.
Well, we could have just kept it a secret, you know, and that would have been even funnier.
Yeah, I suppose in hindsight, you're very right.
I got another one. I'm just kidding. Wink, wink.
Brian Moore was very off the cuff, even though he was. Don't get me wrong. You are a poor commentator if you are not well researched. Like commentators should know their shit. That's not 100% not what I'm saying. My thing is that a lot of the things that people think are off the cuff from jury are clearly not.
Well, that's part of why I don't like Romo. I feel like all that stuff's so over researched. Then instead of doing play-by-play, he does play before play. And now all the guys do it. You got the Sims kids doing it. I just don't like it.
So I do like that about Romo, because Romo can read the defense and he'll let you know what they're doing. And that's just, to me, like, so I'm a guy, like, for me, when it comes to my football, and I know people, American football, I like seeing that all 22 tape. I want to see the play develop. I want to see the route trees. I want to see.
Yeah, but that's fine as it's on a separate deal like I do on the championship. Now I'm sure they have it.
Prime had it every game this year. They had a second channel for it. They give you the next gen stats. I'm just a stat nerd when it comes to the NFL. So for me, and I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea, because I get it. You know, sometimes it's an overload, right?
But put me in a stands and I could say it too. But they do all these overhead cams and zoomed in cams when Romo's talking. You're not seeing it from his perspective. So.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So, like, when they show up in the beginning of the week, they sit there and they go to, I guess, a couple practices. They interview players, and then they had this massive sheet of like cheat notes of basically, you know, stats they've learned this week. So they're super prepared when they do these broadcasts, and I think the NFL probably does it the best. If I could be obviously a little biased on that, I'm sure Tom, you know, maybe, you know, Martin Tyler or something like that. I don't know how you feel about
Martin Tyler supports Man United, so I'll never praise him for anything.
Fair enough. I understand the sentiment there. But yeah, I think the NFL does a great job, man, especially with the commentators, and, you know. Oh, can we entertain BX's question here? It says, is Odegaard keeping ESR out of the team? And my answer to that is no. I don't think so.
Nope.
I personally, and look, I love Emil Smith Rowe. His inability to stay healthy has hurt him more than anything else. Because in 2021, he went off, scored the goal in the North London Derby. There was so much stuff he did in that season. And then the following season, he gets himself hurt with a growing injury, right? And then he re-aggravated it, right? I think his inability to stay healthy has hurt him more than anything else. And it's a super shame because I think he's a great player.
Like many of Arsenal midfielders have passed.
I
It's
would
okay, just
like
have-
Alonso to read this out. I loved the when you read the thing you wrote. I loved the
I am
What
player
mode?
mode. Player mode.
I am the player mode. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Right.
What happened?
So I would play as you pick a player, right, from I think FIFA 09, and I was always Fabregas. Well, back then I was like a new kind of fan of Arsenal that year actually, and it was just amazing, man. You could like pass, you could score goals, you could do free kicks and stuff. At least that's what I remember. So it was pretty good. They had the old the jersey with the maroon shorts and the white shirt.
I just wonder how many people didn't like this.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Promo. That's what it was.
Be a pro mode.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I mean, pro mode. Yeah, promo. Yeah.
Played that, yeah.
That
You
was
only
an
play
excellent.
FIFA start. Sorry, that was rude of me. Sorry.
That was an excellent mode that they had. Of Fabregas, and like back then, like you don't appreciate how far it's come at that time, and I remember playing it all the time in 2009. Then I played like 2010, 11, 12. I think that was the last one for PS2.
That's what time I started not liking the FIFA games because you couldn't score fucking 15 goals a game anymore. You'd be lucky to score 2.
Do you have an Xbox 20?
I've got to tell you this. It's got to be honest. Alex Hunter had
cool.
3 good seasons with Manchester United on FIFA. And he's disappeared off face of the earth.
Berbatov?
Alex Hunter's the character from what would you call it? What do you call it on NBA game when like you do your 1-player mode?
Career mode?
My career.
My career. But it's like a set storyline, and like they have branching paths supposedly. But really,
I know what you're talking about. It's like Superstar or some shit.
Haven't they been cutting that from a lot of EA games lately? It's like it's in it 1 year, then they bring it back.
Well,
but they brought him back for 3 seasons, like 3 years, and then he disappeared off face of the earth. I just think it was horrible of him to not come back for a 4th year. How can he do that to his family and stuff? Like, just disappeared off face of the earth. They don't know where he is. Mad. It's mad. Irresponsible.
You want him to send you an update, Tom?
I showed this game, right? Hold on, let me block this.
Yeah, that's got the end. That's Codemasters, isn't it? It's got
Here's the problem with this. It's PAL. The United States is NTSC. I'll never be able to play this game unless I get a PAL PlayStation.
So you need an English PlayStation.
I mean, there's a way to jailbreak the PS2, but I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I mean, I bought it for
playing though.
I mean, it's probably not.
There's another like footage from it to see what it's like.
Well, there's also like a hurling game, right? But it's on PAL as well, so I can't play that ever. Dude, anything new sports, I'll try any of those games, man. So that's how I got into cricket, was the cricket video games.
But I thought a lot of those they didn't bother with the format. It didn't matter what region you're in.
So PS1, I don't think it mattered. PS2, it did matter. PS3 doesn't matter. PS4 doesn't matter. PS5 doesn't matter. Like in fact, I have a Call of Duty Vanguard that has Arabic writing on it because I
Yeah,
got
Vanguard,
it.
Spencer.
Yeah, I do. So it came with my PS5. I just never played it, never opened it.
So Vanguard is good up until the first 4 level missions,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get into the jungle level and or something like that, or Laura Canal.
Yeah.
Dude, that game is so hard, dude. Still can't beat that damn game.
Dude,
That damn mission.
dude, I got the answer for you. Play it on easy.
I do. And
Oh,
like
you do?
you're in the
Wow, that's
jungle,
pretty easy.
you're in the jungle trying to crawl your way out of the jungle, trying to find the guy that got kidnapped or something like that, and you can't get out of that. You can't get out of the jungle, and it's like so dumb.
Dude, I play all these games on easy, like Call of Duty. I'm trying to have fun, and I act like Rambo out there, and I'm just free flowing it, dude. Although I will say, like, I do have some training in like house clearing. So I did the last time I played a Call of Duty, I definitely was doing the same maneuvers. Like it just felt so weird. There's that one mission where you go in and you get the terrorists and you have to go up the pinch points and all that.
Wait, was that Modern Warfare?
That was
One?
called Colt. That was Modern Warfare 2, 1. Modern
They made
Warfare
it
1.
right.
Yeah, you go to the terrorist house and you go shoot everybody.
I was like, is that towards the end?
Nah, I think it's like middle way through the missions. I think.
Is that the newest Call of Duty one?
No, so this is the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Oh, right, okay. Whenever you're
PS4 2001. So we're going. So 2021. So we're going. I know
the
which
new
ones.
one.
Yeah, the newer ones. Yes, because
Okay.
the older
They
ones
remade
are
it.
excellent.
Oh yeah.
I know this podcast is really derailed here. Mr. ADD has taken over, but sorry guys. I just couldn't do any more Arsenal stuff.
I like the Black Ops ones.
The Black Ops ones are still good though,
especially the first one. I like those because they do story analysis.
So
all those games that I don't even bother doing a story mode.
But think of how underserved those storylines are, though, Tony. Like, you know what I mean? Like, remember, like, the World War II genre was a lot of video games for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then, like, Vietnam's not talked about because Vietnam's a war we technically lost, so people don't want to play that, right? But the Cold War is not really talked about, right? So,
yeah,
go ahead, Alonso. I interrupted you. Sorry.
But that first one, it was Vietnam, and the second one was like the 80s. The hype.
The funny thing was, like, whenever it was Bell was like the character that you play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so was it part one that they're in Vietnam? Was it part two?
One.
They have a mixture of both in them.
Okay, so Bell gets like hypnotized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they go back in Black Ops, or excuse me, Cold War. They go back to that hypnotism stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God, man, hasn't that guy been through enough already?
What was it? What as soon as he beat it, because they're going in there with Kennedy, then Kennedy turns into a zombie, and the other game starts.
Yeah, that's
so the second time in Vietnam, right? He's already I guess brainwashed.
What's happening on Raw, Tom?
So they go on, right? No, bro, you're going the wrong way. Damn it, bro, what are you doing here, bro? You're supposed to go the other way. And you go into one of the other side missions that he's still in, hypnotized or brainwashed. And then you go in this little hole, and there's like a table, TV, radio player, a radio, a cinema. Well, there's a zombie, and it always scares me, dude. Always scares me. So I'm like, oh crap! Like it startles the dude, and so I'm like, crap. So they do it again, right? In Cold War. Like, God, man. So then I'm like freaked out, and I stopped playing for like a day or two and just go back to it. But I mean, it's a good concept. Like I said, it should have been a lot longer because it's a good game, but it's got some dumb aspects as well.
I mean, that Cold War genre is just kind of underserved for the most part as far as video games go. I will tell you one that I do have, Conflict Desert Storm 1. You played that. It's a Codemasters. This was back this is this of course the first Gulf War in 1991, but you have like a 4-man squad. You have like a guy that's a sniper, a medic, a heavy machine gunner, and then just a regular machiner, and you can control each ones and split them up into 2 groups and kind of dual path the mission. It's definitely one of the games I remember as a kid playing a lot. So
It seems like that's what the direction they went. They went from all the World War II games straight to Iraq and skipped anything with Civil War.
Well, it's funny because like
the Cold War era, skipped all the Cold War stuff.
Yeah, and it's really weird because like I don't know if it's like I don't know, some people are interested, some people aren't, but they did it. They did a Conflict Vietnam. The same group that did Conflict Desert Storm did a Conflict Vietnam. I used to have a copy of it, but I lost it. It was the same concept, And of course, you remember Shell Shock Nom 67. That was another PS2 game that came out. So
I know one game was cool was Medal of Honor.
Yes, dude, Medal of Honor was. I loved Medal of Honor. The PS1 version of Medal of Honor too. Tom, did you play that game?
I did briefly. I've never really been that good at the
shooters.
The one, like the first-person shooters. Yeah. Tell a lie though, the one I obviously did really enjoy was GoldenEye.
Yes.
On Nintendo 64. I mean, now if you played it, it would probably, I'm almost certain it'd play like a sack of shit. But in 1998, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Every first-person shooter, every one you play now is based off of that.
I'm surprised they haven't done a remaster of it and sell it on Switch for $60.
They literally have. They did it on PS3 though.
Literally.
Yeah. I bought it, and I think it looks like the character looks like Daniel Craig instead of.
No, but they did a more recent remaster of it. Because the one you're talking about was from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, roughly.
They did a more recent one, like in the last year or two.
You won't get very light on that intelligence.
I'll tell you what, I'll have a look for you now.
I thought GoldenEye came out 96, 97.
I think the GoldenEye game came out in 97 because the film was obviously 95.
Yeah.
But I played it first in 98.
Yeah, those
I can tell you the date I got it. It sounds really silly because I remember England lost to Sweden in a Euro 2000 qualifier in September 98. It was the day I got Nintendo 64. And that was the game that was the pack, what they call them, the package game, the box game, whatever.
Good times.
Nintendo 64 has some pretty cool games for its time. They had that Wayne Gretzky game that came out, which was like almost like a NBA Jam kind of feel to it. And I bought they had both. Part 1 and 2. Ring Gretzky Hockey, I think it was.
I love that game.
You should play it.
I'm going to quickly answer your questions, Alonso, and that is GoldenEye Remaster came out in 2023, and it's available on Nintendo Switch and Xbox.
Wow.
Not PS.
Have to buy an Xbox. Not doing that.
It's probably not worth it.
No.
But Mario Brothers for the 64 is pretty cool too.
I never played it. I never had it. I know that sounds really silly, that it's absurd. How would you not have Mario Brothers?
It was a cool game. Nintendo 64 was very underrated for its time.
No, it was. It was. My main games that I played on it were GoldenEye and whatever wrestling game was the latest one, as in like WCW NWO World Tour, WCW vs NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, and then No Mercy.
I mean, I was a big PlayStation guy and always have been, but I never really had the N64. I think my cousin did, and you'd play it at people's houses, but got GoldenEye. Was real good.
You know,
So was it,
It's always good for
so was
sports,
it game?
right?
Was it GameCube that the Legends of Wrestling was on, Tom?
That was on PlayStation too.
PlayStation. I
Yeah,
think it was multiple consoles.
yeah, multiple platforms. Legends of Wrestling.
I was just wondering what Nintendo it was.
It came out in 2001, I think. Or no, 2002. 2002 it came out.
Would that have been Dreamcast time?
it was
I think
99.
Legend, because I know Dreamcast, obviously, yeah, came out late 90s. And it was probably dead by about 2002. Because
Because it took 36 minutes to boot up to start programming it.
I can actually tell you what killed it. I can tell you why it lost the console war. It's really simple. Because PlayStation went, yeah, we'll put a DVD player in our console.
Yeah,
But also the
Facts.
coding killed it too.
I think that DVD player was massive. Because think of
course
how
it was.
expensive DVD players were back in that time.
It was
Like,
cheaper to buy a PlayStation
Yep.
2 and put DVDs in it than to buy a DVD player at the
Well,
time.
that's the same thing with the Blu-ray. They went with Blu-ray. Xbox went with DVD, HD, or HD DVD, whatever the fuck it was called. They had that separate little stupid drive.
Well, we talked about the PlayStation 2, the small one, not the small one. That every time you try to put a DVD in, it'll put circles on it, and then you try to play it again, it will skip.
what's that on it?
Like crap.
What?
Dreamcast was good for, cause obviously it had the arcade quality to it, didn't it? Very like Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi was a great game. The problem with Crazy Taxi was that when Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out, and it became obvious, oh wait a minute, you can play Crazy Taxi in Grand Theft Auto and do all the other stuff in it as well.
So that was kind of like Driver and Driver 2. Those games are good, but still outplayed by Grand Theft
I
Auto.
remember Driver 3 came out, and it got, in England, I remember it got so much hype. And then it got returned so many times, allegedly.
What did that have? Is that one that had like Jason Statham in it? Wasn't he? Was that the one that he did the voice in?
You could well be right. I have no idea. Because I didn't personally play it. Do you know what put me off Driver? The first Driver game where I basically failed the tutorial. Because one of the turns on it was really hard. Obviously, I would have done it. But a lot of people didn't get to properly play Driver because they couldn't do... And yes, thank you, Chris Nix, for that. Beatrix Guy says Marvelous Capcom. Soul Calibur, massive swords and that in Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur was cool, man.
Love the getaway, that first mission. Do you know what annoyed me about that first mission? Because the damage was realistic on it. Basically, if you got shot once and they got you in the head, you'd be dead, sort of thing. And but they'd make you like drive all the way across London to the location of the first mission. And because they so faithfully recreated London, it'd take you like 10 minutes to get to a location. And then you'd get shot and killed instantly. Because like I'm basically like the Marcelo Bielsa of video games. I don't believe in like dodging and defense and stuff. I'm going to shoot you before you shoot me. Which usually then results in me getting shot a lot. And that's what happened. Anyway, Neo Geo had the best though. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. That song in it. Do you know the song? Two front buttons and two joysticks. Neo Geo, Neo. Anyway, sorry.
Round over song, Tom.
Keith Apicary. It's very good. It's very good. Well, it's catchy. Anyway. It's a game. Can't believe you don't know the Neo Geo song. It's unbelievable.
I'm just waiting for Gary to come back. What are you guys still doing here?
He
Fine, we'll
secretly
do it.
probably
No, go on.
do what?
I was going to get my
he's-
crisp.
Oh yeah. Do the crisp, man. Do the crisp.
I'm not
What
doing
did
a
you
video
find?
though because it's just a bit weird, isn't it? I like playing a video on myself. It's a bit. I appreciate that he took the time to make it, but I'm not gonna play it because
Which one of the
bit
45
arrogant.
bowl games did you get to play in this year?
Sir, we went to the Gator Bowl.
Named after
they
Gary's
named a
dog.
bowl after Gary's dog.
I guess.
Wow, must be a super
Yeah.
dog.
Gator's 15 years old.
I salute Gator. Yeah, of course. Anyway, yeah, he saluted him as well. We've got
Well, that was shit.
Estrella, sour cream and onion. I believe it's Polish.
That's
I'll
good.
totally do Bruce Lee. Hang on. I'll do Muhammad Ahmad, Bruce Lee, sort of thing. Anyway,
Where'd it go, Tom?
whoa! Sorry, no, that went from 0 to racist unintentionally quickly.
Why didn't you do
To be
Bruce
fair,
Lee?
you cannot do kung fu moves without doing the noises.
You didn't do Bruce Lee.
I just did it.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying say a Bruce
But
Lee.
he's
like
doing
we
the
do
noises
Dragon
in his
League.
head. In his mind, he's going, whoa! I don't believe humans really do that. I think that's just our interpretation of what. Anyway, it is exciting, all right, because that
His
masala or
early
whatever,
movies
that
were so
Indian
badly
masala was
dubbed.
awful. It was awful. It put me off Chris for like a day.
You know, it's
Rich.
Does it
Let's
smell
go.
like asshole like the last Chris done?
It does not. I'll tell you what, Chris said they were in the Iqbal's Emporium. I'll tell you what there was. There's something called it was like a conical thing. I'm assuming you'd know what it is.
Corn dog?
Still PG. But it's like a little ice cream cone, but it's crisp. I think it's the shape of the Funyuns. I'm not sure.
Funyuns are little onion rings.
Oh, right, fine. But I don't know. We'd be watching Monday Night Raw banner in the Monday Night Raw club.
I got cat fights going on behind me, so
You know, they'll show us who's when.
oh, it's the brothers. You just never know. Landeskog and Makar are always fighting with each other. I don't even know where they are. I think they ran back upstairs.
Misha gonna win in 2010.
Yep.
Against who?
Washington did a horrible interception. Where'd Alonzo go?
Probably some soup.
Yeah, but BX, we actually watch it. Tony points the camera. Tony points his camera at the TV.
And I do a good job at it.
He does.
He does. You can tell what's happening. You do genuinely do a good job of it, to be fair to you.
Except for the time I had to use my iPhone, it was a little more difficult.
See, I think what we've done tonight, Tom, is really good. And Tony and Alonzo. A lot of Arsenal fans have been in the dumps. And what we've done is we've came here and lifted everybody up. The team's still not going to score, but we've lifted you up. That's it. And sometimes that's all we can do.
Your wife isn't believing it.
No, she's not. She doesn't have to. She's been married 16 years of marriage. 16 years that she took an L.
BX, I've been following along with it the entire time. Secretly.
I'm
How-
watching the national championship game, and
How are you doing it secretly, Tom, when you're looking down all the time?
I'll tell you this. Our truth is a national treasure and needs to be protected at all costs. That's all I will say. He's the best. The best. I cannot believe this man has managed to put together a thing where he's got children dressed as the Judgment Day. And there's a little R truth.
So here's the
Totally.
question. We haven't got the rating on the crisp yet.
Oh. You know what? These are a solid 7 out of 10.
That's
Dependable.
good.
Dependable. I knew these would not upset my palate.
So Tom, if you were eating these crisp and you had to pick an entree to go with these crisp, what would be the entree that would go with these crisp? In case of you were wondering.
Pepsi's is entree. But chips is an entree.
Now you could put them with a sandwich, a BLT.
You know what? As BX said, that because these are so lame, they will generally go with most things because they're an inoffensive accompaniment.
And as Gary would say, there are levels to this.
There are.
Yeah.
There really are.
So 7 out of 10. So you would recommend these?
I would. As in, if these are too strong for you, you should forego food altogether.
Fair enough.
So what would you pair it with, Tom? If you had your choice.
Well, corned beef sandwich, maybe. Part of a meal deal with a bottle of Pepsi.
Now you're making me want some corned beef.
We're not doing the stream, BX. If you want, I can put the link in the chat so you can still comment and stuff if you want. You don't have to actually come on the stream. If you want to do that. But I will warn you, BX. I do on the Raw watch along behind the scenes. I do say things that I would never say on the Full Nelson about wrestling.
I think we should do it.
If that's what's bad, it's like Tom will generally say everything, but they're just things we say on the.
I think we should do it so I can watch this game at a little bit of a level here. I'm just trying to read lips, and it's been a blast, guys. I think my spirits are uplifted. Tony, you seem to be doing better health wise, which makes us happy. Alonzo, the Eagles are trash, and you know it. But you might win the Super Bowl. You just never know, man. Stranger things have happened.
I got no confidence, Spencer.
Well, as long as Jalen Hurts has confidence, that's all that matters.
That's his problem when he's hurt. He tries to do stuff he can't do.
Well,
it's also an offensive coordinator too. So
Penix is having a stinker tonight too. Last week, Penix had about 300 some yards and 4 touchdowns. It looked like a sure pick, top 10 pick, and man, he has literally fallen off. So,
unless he gets wearing that stupid ski mask.
Well, I've put the link in the chat if people do want to sit in and watch us watch Raw. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, I won't bring you in or anything. But yeah. So with that being said, Tony, is there anywhere you're going to be on the internet this week?
I'll be somewhere. Are we doing Thursday again? Thursday again, Tom?
I think we should try Thursday again for the simple fact that last week was more necessity due to work, whereas this week is more of a curiosity on how it will work out. Me trying to make the show at normal time.
So you'll catch me on wrestling.
No problem.
Nelson with Tom on Thursday. So that's where I'll be, Tom.
Are you going to do the double bill again?
Yeah, most likely.
No problem.
'Cause
Well,
I'll
I'll
be
try and
happy.
get done.
I'll happy to be get my stitches that day out of my palm of my hand and my wrist, which is
Okay.
this has been the worst thing about it. Not the elbow, not anything else. It's just been the palm of the hand. Want to expect
Okay.
that? But
Okay. Cheers, Tony. Didn't need your life story, but anyway. Okay. So, Alonso.
sorry, Tom. I did an Irish goodbye.
Oh, for
You
fuck's
did.
sake,
You
Tony.
did. Alonso, where will you be on the internet this week?
Nowhere except for Saturday. Being watched Tom's Royal Rumble. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking
Brother.
yeah. Yeah, brother. Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Spencer, where will you be on the internet?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'll be. I got a presentation that I hold on one sec. So sorry.
He's been watching the whole time.
He has been.
Sneaky.
Okay, we're good. It's good though. But listen, so I don't know. If someone asked me to come on, I might come on. I've got a nice presentation that I wanted to present about the Arsenal shot issues and stuff, and it was fun putting together. But I've skinned the cat so many ways now. I don't know if I can skin it another way. I'll leave it like that. But you can find me on Bronco and VA 9986. You can find me causing hate and discontent on Twitter at Arsenal 9986. I am the problem. You can find me on Mr. Arsenal podcast at time and Gooner Gathering. And of course, Gary still magically asked me to come on, which I dearly appreciate to get to hang out with all you special people. Alonzo, Tony, Tom, BX Gunner, AFC Always, everybody, Mr. Ryan, Sam. We appreciate every single one of you. You know that you were special and you won at least once in your life. And if you watched Saturday, you will know that.
Earlier tonight, he didn't stay too long.
No, it's okay.
Always remember, Tony, that if you think things ain't going well for you at one point in your life, you beat billions of other versions of yourself to the egg. Remember that.
That's it.
Remember that.
You were still special and you were loved.
I was the best swimmer.
And if you did watch back the show on Saturday at the road trip, which I don't recommend you do, because I watched back and I was that's like 3 days old or whatever, but you will see me reenacting myself beating other versions of me to the egg. A bit like this.
Here's the worst part about last Saturday's show. The conversation that me, Tom, and Sam had afterwards about the FA Cup probably should have been on the show because it was excellent. It was informative.
Education.
Whatever.
Instead of going off Stewie Griffin.
Look, man.
Yeah. Hey. Sorry. Hey, Brian. What you doing?
Wagging my tail down.
Mommy.
What?
Lewis. Yeah. Anyway.
We're making a joke.
Thank you to Gary for creating the stream. The godfather of the trip, obviously.
Where can we find you, Tom?
Why does the belt look generic? See, talking about wrestling. Why does the belt look generic? Anyway, where can you find me? You'll probably find me on Vis-a-vis. I will probably be in Ryan's chat tomorrow winning all your coins. All your Mr. Arsenal coins, of course.
What's going on in Ryan's tomorrow?
He's probably doing a show about Arsenal where he's going to discuss everything that was discussed tonight and everything that was discussed last night. But in Ryan's setting this time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I sent out the group chat saying who would be. That's right. My bad.
He did. He really did. He wanted to do something tonight, but he basically got loads of feedback saying, I'm busy tonight, mate. I'm doing this. I've got my thumb up my arse and all this. So instead, he was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow night. And I sat there I don't care what night. If you did it on either night, I'm going to take all your coins tomorrow. Your coins are basically safe for another night. I'm going to get them tomorrow.
I still don't know how that works, but I'm just here for the fun anyway. So
No, I busted the algorithm, so I worked out how to get everyone.
Hey Tom, can you do Ryan's impersonation of Ryan's voice again?
I forgot what I did. All right. Hey everyone, do you wanna do a stream tonight about Arsenal? So, really? All right. Alonso's a great audience because he's really pleased. He's really pleased with my impressions. Like, he's easy to please. Like, anyway.
You should have heard Ryan when he first started, Tom, because he had a shitty microphone, and he was probably at 1 decibel with just his flat monotone voice.
Hey, say what you will. He has been very good to me. He gives me a platform to just basically really upset all the Arsenal fans that get angry at everything. It's amazing. Anyway, thank you all for your support. Thank you all for supporting Gary. Thank you all for supporting Tony, Alonso, Spencer. Yeah. Spencer. Anyway, so with that being said, let me just ask the Godfather something. Will we be on the trip on Saturday?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and always keep that in the back pocket just in case. I've actually got that saved under the pile. Gary, LA Knight, yeah, because they're twins. They look very similar. Anyway, let me see the outro. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Take care.
Say
God
good night,
bless.
Tom.
Say good night,
See you guys.
Tony.
Good night, Tony.
Life's a journey, don't waste your